Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Hello, Miami Dolphin fans. How are you as we enter a weekend of the final 8 football teams still playing in the NFL? Unfortunately, our fins up team is not. I guess I can't even say fins up anymore because we're not going to have that slogan, but you get the point. Our team will not be playing today. But it's okay, man. I'm already starting to get in baseball mood looking at all that stuff. Let's see. Hey, that was gonna the moment he uttered those words. Oh, I was hoping to be drafted by the Miami Dolphins. I knew Dolphins Twitter was gonna go. I knew it. I said, "Oh boy, here comes the floodgates. Everyone's gonna be in there." Hello, hooked up Joe. Um, big happy Finstastic Fridays too. Like I say, as disappointed as I've been about our Dolphins this past week, I will always rock the aqua and orange in football. I'm already getting ready for baseball. I'm wearing a Fenway Park shirt today already, getting that dusting off my baseball stuff as truck day gets closer and closer, even though my Red Sox will probably finish in last place. But hey, they've delivered 4 world championships for my happy face. What have the Dolphins delivered? Nothing but pain, but hey, they're still fun to watch. And we're here to talk some football, talk some playoff football today. See what you Notre Dame's people out there you predict in the score for this week's game. Who do you guys like in the upcoming games? We can touch on what Henry said about that he was hoping to be drafted by the Miami Dolphins back in the day. All that it's all fun, all banter. That's what we do here on these shows. We talk about the fun stuff that may never happen, but we can talk about it because here anything can happen. That's what we got. That's what we do. Good morning, Cap. Good morning, Adam. Justin of Digging in the Trenches. Hooked up Joe. I see the Back It Up Bins podcast. All you guys, thank you because I know there's a lot of stuff you could be doing on this Friday, but you're giving a couple minutes to me, and I love it. Thank you. Hey, dude. Oh, we got a Jays. Man, I got the whole division in here because I know Back It Up Pin podcast. That's an Orioles fan. We got a Jays fan, and me, the Red Sox fan. Now we just need a Yankee fan to really put a punch in the mouth. So, it is what it is. Yes, it is, man. That's what we will be doing. But you know what? It's what makes football almost 12 month a year talked about sport. They're the kings for a reason because people talk about football throughout the year. It's just how it goes because now we're talking playoffs. Now the Super Bowl goes into February. Then after February, we're all talking about the new league year date coming up and who's going to get signed with new teams, who's going to stay on their current teams. Then the free agency period starts to fizzle out. Then it's NFL draft time. Then it's mini camp time. Then it's training camp time. And before you know it, it's football time again. The football has a monopoly on the sports fan attention across the map. They do it the best. And it's always something to talk about out there in the football universe. But I do put sometimes a little of it on the back burner when baseball starts. That's my other sport. Those are the 2 sports I really like. So it's good. Yes, Justin, you're more of a hockey and basketball. As you know, I don't really follow either of those sports. I mean, though both South Florida teams are done more success lately than the Dolphins. The Panthers made it all the way to the Stanley Cup, as the Heat did to their finals. Both lost, but hey, I would take that for Dolphins at this point. So I will get to a Panthers game this year. I keep on telling myself it's so convenient. So I will, but I'm just not a diehard of those. It's like I don't, if they win, woohoo! If they lose, oh well. Dolphins, I have to admit, that's the one team that drives me nuts, and same in my baseball team. Yep, Adam. I know you even got your Florida Panthers logo up there for the past few weeks. You're rocking that. They've been playing well, so cool. Always good to see. Devils and the NBA is unwatchable this era. Goes Celtics go. Hey, you like at least you like a basketball team from a city. I like the baseball team, so that's kind of cool. Time for Chris Greer to earn his paycheck and get this team under the cap while running it back. Yes, he has a lot of work to do. He's the one guy that I've been pickier on than other people because a lot of people want to badge McDaniel and badge Tua. I've always been the one common denominator in all these years that we haven't been winning is Chris Greer. He's been with the organization. Yes, he wasn't making decisions all these years, but he actually started in 2000 as a regional scout with them. That was the last year we won. So his very first year as a regional scout, the Dolphins won a playoff game. But since then, as he's worked his way, kudos to the man. I like success stories like that, that you build your way up and you start at the bottom and you work your way up. He's earned that right. But at this point, has he earned the right to keep that position? That's the question. He did the proper things. He worked his butt off, got all the way up there. But what has he delivered as the actual power guy? And it hasn't been that much. He's got us some sexy names. He got us some woohoo moments in the off season where we're the winners of the off season and we're all dancing around like we won the off season. But then come the playoff season, we're not celebrating. So we had a fun year. I'm not going to bitch too much anymore about it. I was at that 70-point game. I would never forget it. It was so much fun. I was there with my son, my youngest son. It was awesome. I'll never forget it. It was great. There was other great moments in the season too. So, I will remember the good moments because at the end of the day, this is entertainment. The Miami Dolphins are entertainment. It just happens to be entertainment that drives some of us crazy, because most of us won't be banging the head over a bad movie that we thought was going to be good. But as a team, they have that extra space in our heart. Of course, we put our family and jobs and all that, but that sports fandom is hard to explain. I mean, fan is part of fanatical for a reason. We're fanatical about our teams. It's like the Dolphins wanted some. If you want family, they brought in a family man who guys brought in the. You guys bought in on jokes on us again. Hey, it is Justin, but as we already are saying, well, next year will be our year. But next year, I'm not as confident, guys. I would tell you right now, and here, New Finland, Cap for Life, Jeff of the Back It Up Fins podcast, Justin, the Dolphins get 12-0 next year, and I am not going to buy into the hype. That's what I'm telling myself. Because every year, this year, I kept on saying, but this year feels different because people would remind me. And every year, I tell myself, oh, but this year feels different. Next year, we could start 12-0, and I am not going to feel confident until we win a playoff game. Has to be my new standard. But I know I'm lying to myself. I know the minute that we get that winning record and we're on top for a couple weeks, I'm going to be saying, here we are. This is different this year. But hey, at least in the offseason, I can try to be reasonable and sound reasonable and say, I'm not going to buy into it. Well, always root, no matter what. I'll still be going to the games, still be watching the away games on the tube. But I'm going to try not to buy the hype because this year I kept on telling myself, this year feels different. This year feels different. We're going to do it. But once December came around, it started creeping in that it was going to be the same old Dolphins, unfortunately. And there's a myriad of reasons that you could blame. You can blame injuries. You can blame just not being ready in certain situations on offense. Defense giving up a couple critical plays in the game against Tennessee when you had a 14-point lead. So there's plenty of blame to go around. So I'm not going to play the blame game today. But we just know it went bad. We can beat that horse all off season. Try to be a little more fantastic here on this Friday, looking into the crystal ball. It's going to be an interesting offseason. Not so much as far as big names we're going to bring in, but what names are we going to keep in the house for a long time? Are we going to extend Tua? Not extend Tua. Haven't played on the 5th-year option. Extend them. Who knows? We don't know. Are they going to clear enough money to be able to franchise tag Kristen Wilkins? Or are they going to be clear enough money to keep him here long term? Who knows? All these are going to have to be decisions made by people that are getting paid the big bucks that haven't delivered a playoff win for a long time, but get paid to do those decisions. Yes, back it up. There's always next decade, next century. Who knows? But all I know been way too long since we've talked about playoff football with our Dolphins after the first week of the playoff season. 2 years in a row of making the playoffs. That's a step in the right direction, but a very small step. All year long, my expectation was at least one playoff win this year. And that bar was lower than a lot of other people's bar with this team. But I just wanted to at least take the baby step, get the monkey off your back, and win that playoff game. And then at least you won't be going into next year saying, well, this franchise hasn't won. Now we're the number one. Hey, we're number one at something. I guess if you're going to be bad, you might as well be number one at bad. We are the number one team now without a playoff win. So that's something I guess we can hang our hat on. But, it is what it is. Always rocking the okra and orange. Timothy, that's a good question. That's why I'm going to ask a lot. That's why I'm happy. Hey, good morning, doll. Big fins up. Make sure you check her out on Monday nights on my network. And she's also over on the Fins Talk Sports Network. A lot of good stuff. Oh, speaking of the Fins Talk Sports Network, good morning, Fins Up. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, very well said. Couldn't say it better myself. Like and subscribe, people. Big Fins Up to you. The only thing that's fantastic is I don't have to watch Mike McDaniel make the same mistake week after week. I hear you, Justin. Believe me, I hear you, man. I understand, man. It's painful being a Dolphin fan, especially in December and January. It was painful. But hey, we were great, man, for a while. And it is. It's just, I know. It's just the same story. It's like the Groundhog movie and wrapped into the Miami Dolphins. We wake up and we lose a playoff game or we don't make the playoffs. But, it is what it is. We have hope. We got a nucleus that can win some ball games. And, they're going to have to do something. They have to push it forward one more and be all in for next year. I know there'll be names out there that, will be linked to the Dolphins. There'll be names linked leaving the Dolphins. It'd be interesting, but that's a little bit off. Tomorrow's games, I wish we were playing tomorrow, man. It would be so much fun. I'd say right now, I'm going with this is I think Justin would call it going with the chalk, but I'm going with the chalk. I'm going with every favorite team tomorrow. All the home teams win in my book tomorrow. I don't know if you guys disagree. What did he say about the Cowboys game? Things are bad when you're compared to the Cowboys. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's the one good team we bought, and that's the one team that was also one and done in the playoff. They were definitely all year. People were saying that the Dolphins and the Cowboys were fraudulent winners and they weren't really good. And lo and behold, it came to reality. So, and both franchises, I don't care about the Cowboys. So, happy. I would, pee on their burning dumpster if it helped. But, I don't care. It's done. I'm happy there. I don't like the Cowboys. So, but we are very comparable franchises. Owners that are willing to spend the bucks on bringing in the names of the players, bucks that are, willing to redo contracts to keep their players, whatever it takes. But in result, for some reason, they don't get it done. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Justin, 49. I mean, Justin says that coffee has him. I don't think you need coffee to be wired up, Justin, from knowing you for a while, but I get you. Back it up, then podcast. Ravens, 49ers, Bucks, Chiefs for the bin. So Ravens, 49ers, Bucks. Okay, so you're going. Oh, you're going. Okay. Okay. You're going with a couple. You're going with the two favorites in the Ravens and the 49ers, but in the other games, you see some upsets. So that's cool. So I just don't see. But, the Rams played the Lions tough. So you could be right. You could be right. I know I wouldn't want to be paying the ticket prices for the line. You see what those ticket prices are averaging, like for the cheap seats or $1,000 a ticket, highest price ever for a playoff game. That's crazy. But they're starved, man. That's a generation of starved fans. Not like Miami Dolphin fans aren't starved, but you get the point. That's like an old town football team. Not all the transients down here in South Florida and different. That's just, they breed their, they live and breathe their Detroit sports. So they're ravaged for, they're just crazy. I don't know. Like I said, I got Baltimore winning, San Francisco winning, Detroit winning, and Buffalo winning, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong on the Buffalo game. I hope I'm wrong. But I know that's nothing sexy and exciting. Maybe I will get Justin or someone to give me his opinions. Ben's already gave me his takes on this week's game. But that'd be interesting. At least you have some, hey, to no problem, Michael K, resident Bills fan. I think your team's going to win, but I hope they don't. But I hope I'm wrong. That's the one game that I hope I'm wrong. Let's see. So Houston is 9.5 point underdogs. That's a big one. So that's a huge one. Green Bay is 9.5 point underdogs. Tampa is 6.5 point underdogs. The only close game by the betting line is the Chiefs Bills. Bills are only 3 point favorites. So that's the closest game, of course. We will see. The problem is it's built to backers like you're looking in cabinets and have peanut butter with no bread. You got cooling. Hey, I understand, Justin. You've said it for years. We've always built the franchise wrong. But until we build it right, I guess I can't really fight you too much on it. Until we win a playoff game, then at least we will have something to say. Michael K, how you doing, buddy? Good luck this weekend. Picking Mahomes, Reed, Uncle Travis. Hey, I will see. Let's see. Hey, Mark. Good morning from Bills Mafia member in New. Man, how do all you Bills fans find Michael K? I blame you. Just kidding, Mark. But Michael K's a Bills fan too. I get too many of you Bills fans in here. I just hope you hit those thumbs up, though. That will help. Doesn't mean you like the Dolphins, but you can help a little show grow into a bigger show. That's all. But it's all good. Hey, that's what I'm saying. So, Justin, I don't feel too bad. I thought maybe I was just going to chalk. I just see all the home teams winning this weekend, which probably means one of them won't. Because normally they don't. I just don't see any of those home teams losing this weekend. Kansas City, if they would have beaten Buffalo, we could have had that game in Kansas City. But instead, they have to travel into Buffalo. The weather's not going to be a factor for Kansas City, as we already saw. But that crowd in Buffalo can get crazy. And I don't know. I just think Buffalo. It's going to be a Buffalo Ravens AFC Championship game, and I hate to say it because I don't like the Ravens either, but I hope the Ravens beat Buffalo. That's what I think I'm down to, so I don't have to hear Michael K talk for 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. And oh my goodness, thank you, Mark. Oh man, no, the Bills have been on fire, man. The Bills started, but it's funny. It'd be weird if this is a year the Bills do it because they've been. This is a year that people were calling them dead in early in the season, and then they come out and now they're playing their best. Maybe they finally found out the secret. Play your best football at the end of the year. That's what they were doing, what the Dolphins used to do. Play well and then mess up later on. So we will see. We need to stop being a finesse team and build both lines, get to two good blocking, receiving tight end, a running back that can put fair in the linebackers, maybe Henry. Yes, his Henry's name is going to be dropped if the Miami Dolphins now until the free agency period is over, until he signs with another team or signs with us, because he mentioned out of his own mouth he wanted to be drafted by the Miami Dolphins. So that ball of wax is already out there exploding around Dolphins social media circles. So I think the Texans have a sought to upset the Ravens. Yeah, no, you're right, man. And the Ravens tend to lately, not in the past, because hell, they won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco, so they don't always do poorly in the playoffs. But a lot of times they don't perform as well in the playoffs for any reason, for whatever reason, whatever term I'm trying to get out of my mouth. But they don't. And like you say, they basically have been off because they played all their backups the last game of the season. And they were off last week. But I just don't see a young Texans teams being great. I think the Ravens will win that game. But you never know. You never know. That's why they call it gambling. That's why I don't gamble, because I'm awful at it. So I would never. Good call. I know that's true too. And Jackson hasn't played for a while, but I just think they're the superior team to the Texans. and I think they will win. We will see on that. It's good to see fun. Ravens are going to win. Bills fans is hoping. Hey, Aquavision, big fins up to you. Thank you for dropping in. Oh, you're right, man. I forgot the one Cook snuck over there to the Ravens. Forgot all about that, man. Man, that's definitely the definition chasing a ring, man. But hey, I don't blame him, man. He's played a long time, had a good career. Go try to win a wing with the Ravens. Can't blame him. I forgot about that. You're right. Good point, Timothy. I knew, but I forgot. I forgot that he went there after he was let go by the Jets. Thanks for life by calling my salt down Bills empty trophy case this year. Oh, Justin, you're pain. I think that's the painful dolphin in you speaking because that's what I'm afraid of too. But I don't know. We will see. There's a lot of football to be played, and it will be interesting to see. Not hoping because I think the Bills will match up better with the Ravens than the. I don't know about that, Michael. Okay, because Texans for one, you will have at home, and for two, that Ravens team is really solid team this year. How they've been playing down the stretch, they destroyed all the so-called good teams. I mean, they spanked us. They spanked the Lions. They spanked the Seahawks. They spanked a whole bunch of teams that people thought were legit teams. So I don't know if that's a matchup you want to go into, Mike. Okay, but we will see. You never know, man. You never know. That's why they play the games, as they say. And few years ago, Appalachian State beat Michigan, so you never know. That's why they still got to play the game. So Ravens defense would make a rookie look like a rookie this week. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking. But hey, you know what they say when I think things don't normally work out. Hey, hooked it up, Joe. See if the Ravens have any double bye, Russ. Yeah, some people brought that up. Hooked it up, Joe. Good point. It's possible they could have a little bit of rust, but I just think that rust may be knocked off in the first quarter and they'll be back in action and they could start off a little slow, but they will wake up. And to me, I'd be shocked, but hey, I've been shocked many times before. So I didn't think the Packers were going to go in and blow out the Cowboys. And yes, it was a blowout. The score looked a lot closer than it was because Green Bay was in cruise control. And, they got some cheap points at the end. It was but they just went out there and they punched the Cowboys in their mouth on their home turf. I was surprised at that. I really was. I didn't see that one coming. So I don't know. Hey, Cliff D, how does Greer still have a job? Performance doesn't matter to that. I agree with. Justin likes Greer, I think, a little bit more. I don't know if this past season he's changed his tone at all. That's the one that I picked on. He picks on some other people. I've always picked on Greer, but who knows? Maybe he has evidence against Ross. Who knows? I don't know what it is, but he should have been gone. The minute they fired Adam Gase, they needed to fire him and just start really from scratch, someone outside of the organization. And if they say Greer wasn't the decision maker back then, but he still thinks like the organization. He still's that cog that was part of this organization that hasn't won a playoff game since 2000. To me, that's when he needed to really, if he was going to clean house when they blew it up after firing Adam Gase, they really needed to clean house. Bring a GM, and I don't even know who, but someone from some organization. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everyone rising names in the front office, but just someone that thinks outside the box of the Miami Dolphins way of thinking, because the half measures have proven they don't work. Keep a general manager, fire a coach. Fire a coach, keep a general manager. Whatever, whatever. You get my point. Like, keep the coach, fire the general manager, fire, it's just crazy. Fire the coach, keep the general manager, whatever. It's just been redundant over and over. They needed to just totally blow it up. And I'm not going to pretend because Justin and I talk on the phone often. He was, well, who are you going to bring in, Rob? I'm like, well, it's not my job to know who, but someone that's outside the box, they would know. Ross would have a committee to find people, man. you know, go out there in the NFL circles and find out because Dan Marino knows people that would know people. Hey, this guy's a hot up and comer name in the scouting departments out there. Use his contacts of people. He would find people that would know how to build a team. Because to me, Chris Greer hasn't gotten the job done. That's my bottom line. And I don't care. I always hear he's a nice guy. He might be the nicest guy in the whole world, and he very well might be. But at this point, I can have the Grinch running the team, and if we win Super Bowls, I don't care. That's just it. We want 5-win seasons. What did Cliff D say? Yeah, I don't want to clean the whole house now, man. I'm not with clean the whole house this year. Not at all. But after this year, if we don't win a playoff game, then yes, to me, it would be inclined to clean. If we don't win in 2024, it will probably be. And I don't want McDaniel gone. I drank the Kool-Aid. That's where Justin and I'm more of a Chris Greer gone guy. He's more of a McDaniel gone guy. But the one thing I will agree on, because I still drink the Mike. I know this is water, as I always say, but I drank the Kool-Aid of Mike McDaniel. I think he's learning. I think he will get better. But by my own accord, by my own measure, I just said a couple minutes ago, if they let Greer go, they're going to have to let McDaniel go and let the new general manager pick his guy because these half measures just don't work. So that's where I come into a dilemma with my own belief in Mike McDaniel. But we'll see. Hopefully we win and we don't have this. We're not talking about this. Hopefully a year from this week, next time, we're talking about the Dolphins being part of the final 8. And we're wondering when we're talking about a final 8 game at Hard Rock, I'd be on my way to telling you guys I'm going to be there cheering with you guys. But, it is what it is. It hasn't happened for a long time. So we will see on that front. And I will. Hey, G-Man's not here today, but he was right. We don't have dogs other than the 94. Yeah, those guys, they're dogs for sure. Wilkins and Sealer. Oh, no, for sure. They are definitely, if they do it. But like I say, this year, I want to roll with what they have. I don't want to blow it up this year because you still got some people on this team that's made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row. You would have to hope for a little bit of better luck on the injury front. I'm not making excuses. I said every single day I will not make excuses with the injuries, but be honest, the injuries do play a factor when Ross is making his decisions. We have to factor in injuries too and see if that would have had any effect. Because our defense would have looked a lot better out there with Chubb, Van Ginkel, Jalen Phillips trying to get to the quarterbacks those final weeks of the season. We had Chubb up until the Ravens game, and we had Van Ginkel up until the Bills game. But then you lose both. It was brutal, man. But not making excuses, but we did start a whole bunch of offensive linemen and all that kind of stuff. So these are things you got to factor in when you judge the coaching staff and you judge the general manager and stuff like that. Because in reality, they are factors that led to the conclusion of the season. Good morning, Lance. I hope you're safe out there driving around. Ross is clueless. He doesn't know how to hire people. You need to bring in a special advisor group to help the right football people, not business minds football people. Yes, that's what I've always said, man. That's where he needed to lean. I think that's what he kind of tried to did with Dan Marino, but Dan Marino is not really. He's connected and could probably tell, but he really needed someone that really could advise, that's ran a football team before and at least know how to find the talent out there as far as finding coaches and general managers. But hey, like I say, this year we got Greer. He's going to be he's going to be picking the groceries once again. And McDaniel is going to be coaching the groceries once again. So cooking the groceries once again. So, and that's the best route for this year. As much as it pains, as much as we all were disappointed that we were one and done and kind of just fell asleep in December and January, it's what's best for the organization going into this coming year. It's not the time to blow it all up. It's not. As painful as it was, painful to watch, it's not time to blow it up. Like I said, get back to me at the end of next year. If we're one and done or don't even make the playoffs, then I would think Ross is going to get that itch he gets after every 3 years. Gase and Flores were gone after 3 years. I think Philbin, maybe I would have to go look at his pro football. Philbin got a little more than 3 years, but I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if he got fired into like the 4th season or did he get fired? I forget. I don't know. I don't know what year Campbell took over, like in Philbin's regime. So we will see. Hey, Dan Campbell's out there, man. People just thought he's a big neat head. But look at this man. He has that team playing. He has them playing well. And I joked on this very here channel that the Lions had an outside at the very beginning of the season that the Lions could make the Super Bowl. And I said, wouldn't it be crazy if the Dolphins and Lions making the Super Bowl? Hey, the Lions are still up to living to their part. Our Dolphins are out of the equation, unfortunately. But the Lions are in the dance, so they still got that chance. It's crazy, man. That team plays for him. It's going to be interesting to see how they advance moving forward. Well, he doesn't. I don't think it comes down to money. He would go out there and he tried to get Harbaugh, but Harbaugh didn't like how the Dolphins did it because they still had Tony Sparano on the staff. And then I don't think right now he will spend money. I'm not worried about him not spending the money. I just think he failed on someone. He tried to get Jeff Fisher, which I'm happy. I mean, Jeff Fisher, but he was trying to get him. He was trying to get all the big dogs, and he was offering just as much money, but the bigger dogs didn't want to probably go for him because he's his own quirky personality probably. And Harbaugh probably knows Ross better than anyone in the planet because Ross is 1-1 with Michigan. You go up to the University of Michigan, walk around, you're going to see Ross's name on a huge ass building up there. So everyone knows the Ross name up there like they know the Harbaugh name. So they bump into each other in the same circles from time to time at those fancy booster events. So if anyone knows Ross, Harbaugh knows Ross. So it just is what it is. Yeah, hold on, Justin. Hold on, sir. Let's see. Let me see if I can get a link going for you. I don't want to get too crazy. You know what? I'm going to drop a link, but I just want to keep it nice today. No arguing. I'm going to go into my Friday and loving life. So let's see, though, Justin. Because the other day it kind of got crazy in here. Justin, check your phone. But anyway, yeah, I know it's not, but we can't say Ross is cheap. We cannot say Ross is cheap. He rewrites contracts. He does everything he needs to do. He tries to spend money. Doesn't mean he necessarily get it. I don't think he goes on the cheap. He even give 5-year contracts sometimes to get someone to come here as opposed to a 4-year standard coach contract. So he tries Cliff D, but I mean, you're right. He hasn't gotten the big name coach. He hasn't gone with the experienced guy. I wanted Doug Peterson, and look, his team fell apart before the season. Maybe they bounce back next year, and the Jaguars are good, but it doesn't always. So that none of us always have the right answers because I wanted an experienced coach this past time, and now I'm saying I do like Mike McDaniel. Hey, good morning, Justin. Oh, Justin, there you are.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I can't complain, man. So yeah, I might open up for a panel right at the end. I'm tired, man. You know me, I'm a little beat the past couple. I didn't even do a show yesterday. I was a little bit under the weather, so I was like, well, I have to do my Friday show because next week I'm on the road for a few days. So I said, I don't want people to think I've given up. So I'll be on that. So guys, you won't probably see me till either Wednesday or Thursday. I have to go up to Gainesville for a few days. At least I get to see my son, but I'm going there for some medical checkups and stuff.
Right. Well, travel safely no matter what.
So. It's like a 5-hour drive. So
that's a long drive, dude. That's 10 hours.
Hey, my son does it all the time, so I can't complain. Then he's going to be saying, Dad, you can't complain on something. You just got to do it, Dad. That's what I'm always telling him.
Be safe.
Yeah, I will. So, but I won't be on until probably next week. So I said, I got to get on there today, even if I'm not feeling that great. But hey, I'm out here doing it. So, Justin, where are you now on the Chris Greer? Because I know all along you've always saying Chris Greer's not the problem.
Chris Greer's the root of all evil. It's the
all right. So you have come.
It's like sometimes he'll hit a home run for you, and sometimes it's like. But within what we did with the Tyreek trade ended up being nothing. See, because that's why I'm like that, because it's kind of the evil of both sides. Like, it's not a good mix. He got you the player you needed. The coaching staff just didn't use it the right way. They overused it, in my opinion.
Right.
If you really want to hear what I got to say, I've been talking in the chat. Yeah, I got a lot to say. And the reason why is because I've watched this from day one. Rob, me and you know I've told you this since day one. I thought the team was built backwards. It's built off of speed. It's built off of flash and dash. Too much.
Hold on 1 second, Justin. 1 second, Lance. I hit up. I'm gonna let Dutchin spew off, and then I drop the link so everyone can touch on what he said. All right, Justin, go. You got the floor.
It's just too much flash and dash. Not enough. Not enough power. Not enough. Like, hey, we're just gonna line it up and beat you. You know what we're gonna run, but here, come try to stop it. And you just need to sometimes hold to your guns as a play caller and be like, that's what I'm gonna call. Let me kind of just break it down here for people who, in layman terms, I know a lot of people aren't the X's and O's guys, and I'm not the master football guy, so don't get it like this, but I know my stuff. It's like this. The philosophy of our team is built wrong. Yes, you want speed, but you can't just be all speed. You need speed mixed with power. I know everyone's throwing around the Henry name. I've been pounding that into the dirt for 2 years. Rob, me and you know that. I've been saying we need a power back. You need a power back so you can hand it off to him and take the pressure off of Tua in these pressure situations where it's 3rd and 1, it's 2nd and 5, or short yardage is what I'm talking about, because that's a big problem we have right now is this short yardage game. Mike McDaniel overthinks himself. You just need to line it up and beat him. And that's the problem right there. I don't understand the philosophy when you're averaging 6 yards a carry as a team to be like, I'm going to throw a screen pass in the wind when it's hail gust winds with my quarterback across the field, and you don't think it's going to get blown down. The game plan was total garbage. What you needed to do is sit back and be like, okay, I'm going to go against every philosophy that was taught, and we're just going to line up and run against them and run right at them. That's what you sometimes have to do. You can't just be like, well, we're a passing team. I don't want to hear that crap. You're a football team, so you need to have every playbook in every play in the playbook needs to be open to you. Yeah. And then when it gets into the playoffs, then you shrink it up. And that's just the problem is he doesn't understand, like, man, it's when I'm feeling like, hey, a lot of pressure's on us right now. A lot of pressure's on the line. They can't block for Tua long enough. You know what takes that pressure off of him? Run it in between the tackles. I don't care if you gain 2 yards, 3 yards, line it up.
What do you say of his excuse of saying they stacked the box? That was Mike.
I don't care. Line it up and do it again. The game's going to be a lot closer than the score indicated that it was versus the Chiefs. What was it? 34-7? Well, we probably would have lost the game
26-7, I think.
Okay, 26-7. Okay, you would have had my opinion. You might have lost the game only 17-27. But that's when you take the chances when it comes up. Not every third down chance do you take a chance. It's every now and then you're like, hey, let me take a shot right here. It's 2nd and 1. Yeah. That's when you want to take a chance. It's 2nd and 2. That's when I'm throwing it deep. It's a matter of football philosophy. And in my opinion, the football philosophy is it's too – like your head coach, it's, here, let me wear this Burberry jacket into whatever happened just to the dude in the hoodie and the hat and just the Dolphins on it, representing his team. Just like, I don't need no more flash and dash. I don't need it. I need a football coach, a guy who can dial up a damn play. And that's what Mike Ross needs to get in there and figure out is like, you have to get in football minds, and you can't just knock the whole team down what you have now. And my opinion is, if you're going to get rid of Greer, you're going to get rid of Mike McDaniel.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So that's why this year they made the right choice by not moving on from it.
Real quick, and I'll shut up. This is if you're going to stick with what you got and go a little bit with what we already have based.
Yeah,
you have to do 2 things over the offseason, and these 2 things are crucial. Okay, they're crucial. Number 1 is you got to build the Great Wall. I need at least 1 veteran, if not 2 veteran linemen that can play multiple positions. Either he plays tackle and guard or guard and center. 2 vets, and I need at least 1 rookie to groom behind him that can be like probably help you that year. Do you understand? So I'm trying to build offensive line. And then the other thing you need to do, this is the most important thing you need to do, and this is going to be hell on the fan base and everybody. You have to bring in iron to sharpen iron. Your backup quarterback cannot be Mike White. Your backup quarterback has to be somebody who can run the football with his legs, get a first down, and that can't be Skylar Thompson. I don't want to hear that crap either. I like Skylar, but that's not the guy. We need someone else who can run the football and also make plays with his arm. So I want competition to push Tua. I don't care if it's a veteran. I don't care if it's a stud rookie. I don't care if it's
You're not one of the ones calling for like Justin Fields if Chicago decides to move on from Justin Fields and go with Caleb Williams. Are you in on that, or you're not that big of a name?
Am I in on that for what, though?
For bringing him as a competition for Tua.
What are you giving up?
No, I know. That's what I said. You would have to give up something. That's why we don't know. But I know a lot of Dolphin fans are.
If you're getting Fields, they're going to ask for something you don't want to give back, probably.
And they're going to say probably a second-round pick or something like that.
Yes, I'm down. Let's go. Bring it. Then what you do is you bring in Fields and you groom him to try to, push Tua. Like, if he's looking,
they're going to ask for a first, but I don't know if another team gives him a first because they know they're kind of tight. If they bring in Caleb Williams, they kind of pin themselves in a box. They're like, well, they're going to get rid of him. So
I think the reason why I'm kind of like down to try the Justin Fields experiment, so to say, is I know a guy that I respect very well who's in the draft circles, Rise and Draft. You guys probably know him, have heard of him. He's really smart, knows the stuff. When that was all going down, he was like, oh, watch them go take a shot. Watch them go take a shot at Justin Fields with Shanahan because they would do wonders. Well, that's the same kind of philosophy and style we're trying to run here. Yeah. Maybe the problem with the offense is we don't have someone who can pull the ball down and get those easy first downs with his legs. Let's face it, Tua's not that guy. That's not his game. His game is rhythm. Let me get into rhythm and then I'll tear you apart. Accuracy, putting the ball where it needs to be, staying in on the offense. That's not his problem. His problem is he doesn't make the play. He's not the best when it comes off script. Hey, let me go make a play because first, second, third, fourth read, and the check down's all covered. I got to pull it down and got to make a run. That doesn't happen quickly for him. Well, it might happen quickly. The processing maybe is a little slower than it needs to be, but that's what happens when you got people breathing down your neck because you got all this backup makeshift line in and you're trying to make things work and it just doesn't work. So, having someone who can run would really, really change things. But
hey, good morning to all you guys. Make sure you
Fields. I don't blame you, bro. I'm either there or not. It's not like I'm.
No, I know. And thank you for hitting the thumb up over there, Joey, or someone did on Facebook. That pops up.
I don't know,
thank
man.
you guys for hitting the welcome, Scotty, Newfoundland, Blue Wave, Aquavision, Outback, all you guys. I see you, and if I didn't say your name, I saw you. I will open up the link here in a couple minutes because I'm not going to do a super long show. But I'm going to ask you this question. So, why all of a sudden did the Dolphins accelerate? Because when they started this build up, they say they weren't going to do what they weren't going to throw money at the vet. They were going to build through the draft. Where did it go off track? Did they just because they came to the city calling and said, hey, Tyreek's available. And they're like, oh, all in all of a sudden because they said they were going to build through the draft. But then all of a sudden they started throwing away their picks like they were candy and signing veterans again. So why did they change course?
I think it changed. Are you talking about the process, the way the team?
Yeah, because remember when they fired Adam Gase, they said they were going to do it right. They were going to build a sustainable winner this time. Was the word?
I think maybe they thought their window was now, and they were just trying to win. But at the same point in time, it just didn't work out. But the reason why it didn't work out is because you guys got to understand there's more going on behind the scenes than what you watch on Hard Knocks. Come on. This is a football team. I've been part of them. I know what happens. There's fights. There's fist fights. There's arguments. There's finger pointing. There's all of that. All that stuff stays behind closed doors because you guys ain't supposed to see it. What you don't understand is coaches have control of this stuff. They're the ones that are in control of the game plan. They're the ones that write up the philosophy to how they're going to play it. They're the ones who write up the verbiage on the play calls that come in. All of it. You can tell from watching a Mike McDaniel's game that he scripts maybe like the first 5 plays of the game. That's it.
Yep.
Bro, you need to script like the first 25, especially with this team, because you need to get it in their head of like, you need to be here at this point in time, and the timing has to be right on everything. If not, the play is blown, and it all starts up front. If you don't block long enough, you're not going to be able to stay open. And if you're in a run play, that's the whole problem is, like I told you, peanut butter, no bread, Kool-Aid, but no sugar, because you got interior linemen who can't run block downhill. You got a half-legged left tackle on the end of his career out there trying to run block and seal block, downhill pin and pulls. It's just not getting there fast enough. Then you got Austin Jackson, who actually played really damn good this year. I'm really surprised. That might be the brightest spot you have on the whole team. But damn, when the playoffs come, he's still getting beat and blown. He has to learn to stay disciplined. Don't give up the gate, especially to a pass rusher who's going to, like Karlaftis, who's going to take your lunch money. Yep. You need to take that dude down and make sure your technique is right. All your hands go right inside and don't get too loftily.
Well, Scotty says that McDaniel scripts 24 plays is what he has said in the past. So,
well, damn, it doesn't look like it. See, look, I said 25. I was close, but I'm just saying you gotta, bro. It don't look like it to me. If those are your plays you're scripting, then you need to change the philosophy.
Their first drive's normally very good though, and then
hold on. I get it. They are. That's fine. Sometimes he's dialing them up, but other times they're not, and it's because of what I'm talking about. He's got to learn to go. Isn't he a damn run game coordinator? Isn't this a former San Francisco 49ers run game coordinator?
Yeah, that was his title. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then he knows the run game. What the hell, bro? I've watched you dial up some magnificent runs, even with our team, with the 49ers, with the Falcons. I've watched you do it. So just because you get Tyreek doesn't mean you go away from the way you used to do it. You do what you do what got you there. And that's why you need to go back to the run game. I know Shanahan. I know Kyle Shanahan. I know I'm living in Colorado. I know Mike Shanahan's offense, and that's not it. And he doesn't need to be exactly it. Mikey McDaniel tried to put his spin on it, and it just isn't working out. It's too much pass when you need to run.
What did Blue Wave say? That's his standard? Dang, I hope. Had that wrong account.
I keep hearing the standard too of like, oh, let's just win a playoff game. No, your standard set way too low.
Greer has been a very good GM in his opinion, in his humble opinion, or whatever. In my humble opinion, I guess.
I disagree. I disagree. Like, I'm just saying, like, I know we got Achane, but look at all the picks where we could have had a line of scrimmage player, and we didn't get one. Bro, let me go back. I'll go back even years before. You drafted Charles Harris over TJ Watt. TJ Watt.
I know. You should have just gone with the DNA. The DNA had already proven it can play in the NFL.
You see that? Look behind me back there. You see that hole punched in the damn door back there?
Yeah.
I knocked the whole door down like that when you made that pick right there over TJ Watt. I wanted to rip the door off the hinges. Piss me off. You can't do that. Look where TJ Watts has over 100 career sacks in this damn league, and you would have took Charles Harris? Yeah, that's a mistake, bro. That's a loss. Here, I'll give you another one. Noah Igbenogany, first round. You traded him for a 7th.
Dude. Hey, we're going to get more people hooked up, Joe.
Bro, we had a 3-game lead in the AFC East. 3 games. And you laid down like a prom date. Why? Because the way the team's built. Okay. Not anything else. And your damn coaching philosophy. Your coaching philosophy can't just be pass.
Hey, Lance, I know you're probably trucking out there, so I have dropped the link. If you can't look at chat, the link has been dropped.
On the coach.
That's why I dropped the link to you first, sir. I dropped the link to you first, Justin, on your phone, so you could get that passing out before I get Rational Joe and Lance in here.
Run the ball.
Hey, Joe, how are you today? You can go first because you beat Lance by a millisecond. So how are you?
I'm doing better today, and I did want to apologize for the last show and for disrupting the show. I wanted to say that.
No, you didn't disrupt. That's what.
No, I was kind of jerk
That's
off.
part of the.
I just wanted to apologize for that. You know.
No, you and Michael K had a passion. That's I don't care. That's what we do, man. You know. So don't worry. But thank you, Joe. I accept the.
You ruined it, Joe.
Yeah, I know. That was a bust.
But anyway, Joe, if you were fine. So it was fine. So anyway, Joe, what's your take overall right now as we sit with almost a week off the loss to the, we're getting nearing the 1 week exit of the season, and we've had a little time to reflect. What's your overall general feeling of the 2023 season for the Miami Dolphins?
It's like if you look at a lottery ticket and you thought you won, and then it was the wrong date.
Hey,
that's how I feel the season went for me.
Yeah, that is perfect, man. Guys, you guys are saying a lot of comments. I'm going to try to look, but I have to try to look at the camera too, but I got to look down to see the comments. But no, I love that. description. Kind of like you thought you won the lottery, but then it was on the wrong date. That is perfect description. Lance, you've had a week to think about it now, more or less. What's your overall feeling on the 2023 Miami Dolphins season now, and you've had time to think about it?
Still disappointing.
Yep, believe me, it is very disappointing. And I know you're not a Tua guy. You want Tua to be replaced, but I think we all agree Tua's going to be the guy next year. And then
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't hate him. Like, you know, like I would love to meet him. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a great guy. You know, as far as personality, character.
Right? Yeah, I got you. He is.
You know, but I think we should do like we did with Wilkins. You know,
so let him play. So you say let him play the whole year on the. We'll have to free up money, you know.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Yeah.
Prove it.
You got to bring in
Dale.
somebody though. You got to bring in somebody to push.
Yeah,
it.
well, we have to.
Tyler Heineke. I like Tyler Heineke.
You know, I know Justin Fields is being thrown. I've been on a few, like I've been listening to some of the Chicago's things,
Right.
and nobody wants to get rid of him. They don't want Caleb.
Okay, so they want to keep him. So that's cool. That's cool. I don't think that's going to happen. It was just a name I threw out there because I just love seeing Dolphins Twitter, and he was a popular name trending on Dolphins Twitter.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Rob. But then,
don't
hey,
get
if they
me
don't
wrong.
want Caleb Williams and they want to keep Justin Fields, then let's trade for that #1 pick.
Oh, that's where I don't know if we got the ammo to trade all
Yeah.
up there.
Nah, you do have
That's
the
gonna cost too
ammo.
much.
Oh, we will.
That's gonna cost
We
too
will.
much.
We will.
Who cares what
I
it
mean-
costs? Let's go get the #1 pick.
Wilkins is a guaranteed first-round pick. I mean,
Oh no,
we'll
he's
get
not
a
first.
#1.
Yeah.
Listen, bro. Listen. What you do is you offer them a first-round pick this year, a first-round pick next year with a second, and I bet you they take it.
Here.
No,
Okay, dying bad. When you put it that way, that's more reasonable.
Well,
I don't
come
think they
on, let's
take
do
Wilkins.
that. Then you got the
How much-
#1
Okay,
pick.
go ahead.
No, but
How do y'all feel about
the
Tyler
Niners
Heineke,
gave
though?
up to move up to us. They had to give up 3 first-round
Tyler
picks to move
Heineke.
up to. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
about that.
'cause
Hey, Tim. Sorry, I can't. My eyes. I'm trying to. Tim the Fin Man. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing? Good morning,
Well,
morning.
man. So, what's your take on the 2023 version of the Miami Dolphins?
Very, very disappointing, especially after that 70-point game, man. Like, to be honest, I don't know if y'all goals was just like my goals. My goal for the team going into season that just passed was at least win one playoff game. But unfortunately, we can still reach our goal next year. I don't know if you guys with me, but I think next year our goal should be AFC Championship game, not
I
just
think-
one playoff game.
I think every
AFC
year should
Championship
be
game.
Super Bowl or bust. That's just my philosophy, though.
That's just it.
Yeah, but
for me too.
I agree.
I mean, there's got to be a point where we say, hey, playoffs ain't enough. Hey, 11
Right.
wins ain't enough. Hey, laying down 3-game lead in the AFC East. It's not enough. It's unacceptable. You got to start holding people accountable.
And I agree with what you said earlier too. This team is too finesse. Oh my gosh.
I don't want to be the Bills or Dallas Cowboys where you go, you know, win and lose in the playoffs.
We're getting about
You're
it.
breaking up a little bit, Lance.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep, much
Much better, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just don't want to be the next Buffalo Bills or the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. You're already the Dallas Cowboys.
I know.
You're
I was
Dallas
gonna say,
Cowboys.
I
South.
know. I hate being there. Come on, don't
Well,
say that
face
to
the
me. I
facts,
get
here
so
we are.
disappointed.
I feel like out of everybody, might be Daniel Phillips the most though. With his play calling.
I don't know, man. I think the biggest. I think it's all. This is all on coach. All on the coaching. He's the head coach.
I agree. I
He
agree.
has to,
Because
listen, let me ask you guys this right now. This is a true question for all of you. Why the hell does it take you so long to make adjustments? Why
right,
do
that's
you
my
wait
biggest knock.
weeks?
Yeah.
Why do you wait weeks to pivot? This is football. This is a snap by snap, drive by drive, game by game kind of a thing. When you need to pivot, you need to pivot.
Right.
Real quick,
And
Abby,
And I'm
you're
scared.
right. Eric does get some good moves every so often. He did get Sealer. That might be one of his best moves he's done as Dolphins general manager. He got Sealer off the Raven practice squad. But like Justin says, a blind squirrel gets a nut every so often. But he did get that one. So kudos to where he belongs. He did get Sealer from the Raven.
That was like one of the best moves he's made.
his
so
best
far.
draft was the 2021 draft class. Besides
And we
that,
might-
I
We
would
may
say
be
that,
losing Fangio.
and that would suck. I hope he stays one more year, and we can somehow get Jets coach Robert Saleh, because I
If
think Jets gonna be.
No, if,
Oh,
if
that would be a
Harbaugh
good-
if Harbaugh goes to coaching, Fangio's going to go wherever Harbaugh is. Like they are tight.
Then
I hope we get to get one more year out of Fangio, at least one more year. And I think
I think we
Berry
should go
said,
for Harbaugh.
yeah, that would be good too. That would be good too. But let me fascinate y'all. Imagine if we had Eric Bieniemy as a play caller. We see what he did in Kansas City.
Oh my
That
God,
offense-
dude, you're speaking music to my
Man.
ears. Sorry for
That
interrupting.
offense
but
did not look the same without him. When he went to Washington,
Big
he had
fan.
Sam Howell looking like the MVP candidate.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what this team needs is an Eric Bieniemy. I've been calling for him since he left Kansas City. You get an
Oh,
Eric
yeah.
Bieniemy, you can really change. Because you want to know what? He's got a reputation of not being this guy who's like, oh, it's okay. No, he'll pull your card. He'll be like,
Right.
listen, boy, that wasn't done good enough. And you think Aaron Donald's going to allow you to block him like that, boy? He'll call you. He'll pull your ticket right there.
Right. We need somebody like that.
You know, Flores.
Yeah, that's my kind of style right there.
Fangio is on contract for 3 years. So,
Oh, is he?
yeah. So the only reason he wouldn't be back next year is if he decided to retire and not coach anymore. So that whole discussion about, I don't know if Fangio will be back next year is just the same
It's garbage.
vague
He's coming
answer
back,
you're going to
too.
get.
Right.
Every
I mean, he would have
question
the
you
right to
ask
say he could
Greer,
decide
you're
to
going
be
to get a
fired.
weird, vague answer. And then the media goes, oh, he gave a weird, vague answer on this. And we're wondering what it really means. It means he's going to
Well,
give
I
you
didn't
a
know. I
weird,
didn't know.
vague answer all the
I
time.
thought it was a year. I thought it was a year to year with Fangio because he wants to retire too.
I'm reading it said a 3-year deal from Miami pays him $4.5 million a year. That's just a quick search.
Okay.
So if somebody has something better, let me know.
But they sometimes let coaches out of the contract. They did a couple times with the Dolphins when they wanted to get off Flores'.
They might.
Yeah,
I don't
They
know
took
about to
la-
go to
they took lateral
competition.
moves to move over to other teams. So it's because I guess if he came to McDaniel and said, "Hey, I don't really want to be part of," McDaniel's not going to probably hold him to it. He'll
Right,
probably
you
just
can't
fire him
force
and
a
let him
coach
go.
to be there because they're not going to do a great job. Just like you can't
Right.
force a player that wants to leave to stay and say, "No, we're going to make you stay and make you play." I mean, you can, but
Yeah.
So how do y'all feel about Robert Saleh coming? If Victor Fangio, not this year, but next year.
Well, if the Jets
I mean,
fire him,
2025.
I'd be fine with that. If the Jets fire him and move on from him after next year, so
yeah.
that'd be fine with me. Justin, your take? I don't think Justin's with us anymore. So Lance,
Yeah, you're right, Scotty.
yeah, no, he's what did Scotty say?
He's saying, I'm sorry, that he's the highest paid DC, and
Yeah, most likely, yeah, you're right, Scotty. So, but
and
he
we
did,
are
man.
gonna,
That's what he did. He made him. That's why I say it's not about Ross not spending the money ever. It's just he just
So
don't
let me ask you guys a question. I'm sorry. Let me ask you guys a question. What is the biggest need on offense and defense?
What's that, Tim? I'm sorry.
What's the biggest need on offense and defense? One big need on offense and one big need on defense.
Well, on offense, I do say we need to be more physical up front in the offensive line.
Yeah, I said we need a true center.
Yeah.
Somebody who plays center dang it their whole career.
Yes,
And on defense, I say a middle linebacker.
No, you're 100% right, Tim. That's where I think
Yeah.
the Dolphins went wrong. Their backup plan behind Connor Williams was this, if someone gets hurt, we're going to go with a center that's never taken a snap in the NFL before. So that was a bad plan. That was a bad backup plan.
Hey, Rob,
players get hurt.
Rob, you've known me for years. How long have I been banging the table for a center around here?
I know. And we
Well,
finally had a good center, Justin, and he was balling out. But you have to have someone else on the roster.
And
That's
Connor
do we
Williams
have
was good.
do we have a second? Do we have a second?
yeah, we have a
Yeah, I
second.
think we do.
got a
But we don't
first-
have a
Well,
third.
we got there's a good center in Oregon.
Well, I know
We for
Scotty
sure
says
need
he's
to
a
be
good
Yeah, I
one
like
in West
him.
Virginia. So,
And see,
Well,
to be
Honestly,
honest,
up front, offensive line for the on the offensive line, that's probably going to be close to unanimous because we're down
yeah,
half of Armstead. That's all he ever is, and Cotton and Liam and Jackson. That's it. That's
Hey,
all we got.
don't mean to interrupt, but that kid from Oregon, he's coming off the board. Like, he'll be one of the first couple linemen off the board.
Well, yeah, that's why I said in the second. Where are we on the second?
No, in the first round.
I don't know about that. Nobody really.
Watch,
There's
bro.
only been one. There's only been one that I remember that was taken off an offensive lineman off the board in the first round.
oh, what are you talking about? Every year, Lance, there's
Yeah, we select
Is there?
offensive linemen in the first round like it's popular.
yeah,
I
Lance,
mean,
there's
every
always
year.
I mean,
linemen.
Austin
maybe I just haven't been
Jackson,
paying
I mean,
attention.
Yeah, you haven't been
Liam,
paying
they're
attention,
both
Dan,
first
but you're
round.
out there trucking, so you got to be safe. But yeah,
Oh, I
offensive
know. If
linemen
there's
get
one
tough.
thing I know, it's the draft.
Yeah, that you do.
Like,
Justin,
I
know.
wanted what's his name? Plays for Detroit now.
Sam Laporta.
Jack Campbell.
No.
Oh yeah, I want to Jack Campbell too.
Panini, whatever.
He's only been playing for like 2 years.
Are you
the
talking about the
Panini
lineman?
guy.
A lineman?
Yeah,
Yeah,
offensive
Frank
lineman.
Ragnow.
No, he's
Panini.
Hawaiian.
The
That's it.
Panini. I can't say the name.
Oh,
but-
it's Penny Sewell.
yeah, Penny Sewell. There you go.
Shit, bro, you're preaching to the choir. I wanted to take him over who we got in that
Yeah.
first pick.
We got Waddle.
Yeah, we
Well,
got
I would have
Waddle.
taken Sewell.
Yeah, I wanted him like bad. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and he's the best right tackle in the game right now.
Yep.
Well, I did so just for FYI, I just went real quick to a mock draft. It's only CBS, so what do they know? But their mock draft had the first lineman coming off at pick 7, Joe Ott. So
Yeah, that's the kid from Notre Dame.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, they
He
have
had
him
the 7
coming
pick.
off at 7. So that's just
Supposed to be
you know,
a
and
guy.
then they have a guy coming from Penn State at pick 10. That's a
Yeah, that's the
lineman.
tackle Fuoshu or Fuanu.
Yeah, very good, Justin. Yes,
There's supposed to be a guy from Alabama too.
And then they have
Yeah,
a guy
that's
from Alabama.
CJ Latham, I think.
Yeah, JC Latham. They have him coming off at 13.
Yeah, any of those would actually help your team, our team, because we need help. But I think you need to go out there, like I said, you need one of those rookies and you need a veteran at a couple different
They have
spots.
this mock draft has the Miami Dolphins taking an edge rusher. So
Who?
And it's from Penn State named Chop. What a name, Chop Robinson.
Yeah, I don't know about that dude right there. That
I know.
the same
I
guy
know.
that
I'm
I
just saying
know.
that's a first draft.
People are
mock draft.
mocking
I
him into the
looked at
first
all year.
round, and they need to hold off on that right there. Nope,
I just
nope,
Googled
nope.
it while I was sitting there. So that's the first mock draft I looked at this year. But Chop. But I saw real quick why they said because they can move on from Agba and that their other edge rushers are hurt, so that an edge rusher makes sense. So that was their reasoning for that.
If there's
Yeah, but
one
not in the
guy out of
draft.
that
I mean-
draft, out of this draft coming up, that I would be like, yo, it's got to be our target, and you got to do anything you can to get him, especially with the situation you have going on, and you're going to try to maybe get a running back to play a little bit more tougher. You got to go get Cooper Beebe from Kansas State. Cooper Beebe from Kansas State.
All right.
Scotty.
Hey, I'll
made a
take
good
your
point.
word. We're almost at the end of the show here, guys. So I will go to each of you that's in the panel to have your final thoughts. So I will hooked up Joe. I'll give you your final thoughts because I just looked at the time. It's that time of day. So what's your final thought? Basically we go off Tim the Fin Man's question. What two things? It doesn't even have to be. It can be offense and offense, defense and defense, whatever. What two things do you think the Dolphins need moving forward?
I think of course, we have offensive line, and Scotty made a good point earlier that, we have Armstead. If he does not retire, we can draft a guy into that position and hope that he can learn behind him until such time that he can come in. on the defensive side, if we get a guy that, because we don't have a guy coming in, then he's got to play straight away. So I kind of like pushing up our offensive line on that. So I think the offensive line on there, and I mean, we're losing. We're going to have almost no quarterbacks left, CBs left. Our DBs is just decimated. So I think DB might be a big need on DB.
Yeah. And hopefully Cam Smith steps up, but we keep on. You know what? For hope, what that gets us normally in Dolphin land, not much. But good points, Joe. Thank you. And now, Tim the Fin Man, I'm going to ask you your own question, but you can pick two from either side. I mean, just two things, whether it's two offense, two defense, or split.
All right. I think we are going to agree that offensive line is the biggest need, most definitely. And second, I'm going to go middle linebacker. If we get a stud like Devin White, oh my gosh. Once Chubb and Phillips get healthy, we got Devin White, we will have the best linebacker group. It's not over. Oh my gosh. The wait is worth it. Next year.
I know you're making Scotty in our chat happy. He's been calling for Devin White for seasons. But so that's funny. All right, Lance. Now you're on the board. Two things that the Dolphins, and don't say like I said, just it doesn't have to be all offense or all defense. Two things to make the Dolphins better moving into the next year. Lance, you're on the clock.
Offensive lineman and a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback. I knew we might get a quarterback. That's fine. That's a fair assessment. That's perfect. I don't know. Justin, you're the last one up. What two things do you have to want to see moving forward? It's two, Justin. I know you could go on for five, but two, Justin. I think I lost Justin. Man.
No, I'm here.
Okay,
obviously, the O-line would be my first concern, but I'm going to throw a curveball out there. No one's really even brought it up, but it's a reality that we're facing is we got to replace Xavier. So cornerback.
Someone said cornerback. Joe said cornerback too. So.
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you, bro.
Yeah, Joe did too. So you're not alone on that thought. So white or cream yet. Scotty, I know you've been calling for the white for a long time. Anyway, guys, it's another time to wrap up the show. As the famous Miss Finn says, on your way out, knock that thumbs up button. It does help, and it's free. I appreciate all you guys that joined the panel and here in chat. Too many of you to name. I appreciate it. Have a safe weekend. I will be back probably sometime next week. Maybe I do a show over the weekend. I head out on the road on Monday, though. Not like Lance driving the truck, but just driving my personal car up to Gainesville, Florida, home of the Florida Gators. Which I guess I kind of root for now since that's where my son goes. I'm not a diehard, but hey, my money and son goes there, so I got to root for the Gators a little bit. But they're pretty bad too, so none of my teams have any hope in the near future. But hey, it is what we have. We do have Cam Smith. I agree. Hopefully, Scotty. But that's what we keep on saying about Channing Tindall. Oh, we got Tindall, and look what he's
the biggest bust.
Yeah, so hopefully Cam Smith steps up next year. I hope. I'm drinking the hope. I hope he does, but he definitely was not in favor this year. Of all the people that kept on getting hurt, he never saw the field. I mean, and I love Cater Kohu. Great story, but he had no right out there playing against starting type NFL receivers. That he's a great special teams guy. Once in a while, come in there, but he looked lost in coverage towards the end of the season. Cater Kohu. And I love him. He's a great story. You wish for stories like that in the NFL. He came out of nowhere and he's making the NFL dream come true, but you don't want him out there covering the best receivers at time. And that was rough to see. So we'll see. Now, I said in the very beginning, was a bad pick. His development was going to be 2 to 3 years minimum. Well, here we are. You were right on that, Scotty. So guys, I can't give you thanks enough. Big fins up to all you guys. Tim, thank you if you haven't subscribed before, Tim, hit that subscribe button for me. It helps us.
Already did.
All right. Thank you very much. And Justin, big fins up to you. I'm out of here, guys. It was fun. I wish we were talking about a playoff game, but instead we're talking about the offseason. Later, guys.
Fins up.
Thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game. Man, he knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know.